Election as Taoiseach, I did raise the question of the appointment of the former Attorney General Máire Whelan as a judge to the Court of Appeal. And I said then that if you wish to do more than just talk about changing politics, that you had an opportunity to do so in the context of this squalid appointment. And I asked that you would address the controversy and explain to the Dáil what you knew and when you knew about it. Because this appointment was the first in nearly a quarter of a century that a former Attorney General was appointed in such a manner. And it was without precedent since the enactment of the 95 Act. It in fact circumvented that Act. And as the editorial in the Irish Independent today said, whatever about the letter of the law, the spirit of the law certainly wasn't adhered to. The Attorney General attended the JAB meeting in May and knew from that meeting that the essential criterion was that the person to fill that vacancy should be a High Court judge with experience in such high-level judicial matters. The former AG never indicated to JAB that she had an interest in the vacancy. She should have. No documentation in advance of the Cabinet meeting, no notice to ministers that such a controversial appointment was to be made. It was slipped in at the last minute of the last meeting of the outgoing Cabinet. Incredibly, the Attorney General failed to absent herself from the meeting when her appointment was proposed by the outgoing and incoming Taoiseach, who was central to all of this. The meeting apparently burst into applause. This was an insider appointment that stinks to high heaven. And the controversies that the former AG were involved in, particularly the damning findings of the Fennelly report, were ignored in consideration of the applicant's suitability. No one was told by the Taoiseach that 3 High Court judges had applied. Who were they? Were their applications considered? Seriously? No, they weren't. And to add insult to injury then, Taoiseach, you decided on Sunday evening, with indecent haste, to instruct the President to appoint the following morning, to preempt accountability to your own Cabinet. 2 ministers had indicated they wanted a review, Ministers Ross and Naughton, to preempt accountability to this House. And in doing so, Taoiseach, you arrogantly dismissed the concerns of your Cabinet colleagues. You arrogantly ignored the imperative on you in terms of accountability to this House in relation to this appointment. And prior to making it, you also failed to respect those who facilitated your election as Taoiseach. I have some specific questions to you, Taoiseach, very quickly. Yeah, when were you told specifically that this appointment was to be made? Did the Taoiseach alert you as incoming Taoiseach that she was bringing this appointment forward? And you said yesterday you have regrets. Why did you stand up and resist this appointment at the time when it was put to you in the manner that it was? And would you do this all over again?